Hello everyone, this is Caleb Simpson, and you are watching my Let's Play for Mindustry, or Mindustry, however you want to pronounce that. Continuing on with the campaign, this time on the final mission of the game, which is Nuclear Production Complex. Now this particular mission is going to be broken up into 3 videos. This is video 2 of 3, in which, in this particular one, I'm going to be upgrading all my power, and upgrading all of my defense to the highest tier towers in the game, and then optimizing all that to make it awesome so that I can hold out as long as possible. So, here we go. Alright, so now I have one impact reactor sitting here, and here's the deal. It needs cryo fluid, which is these guys, and once I supply power, this is just cost. This is very expensive right here, the amount of power this is going to require. This needs cryo fluid, and it also needs blast compound. So the deal is, what you do is you throw blast compound into this one right here, this mass driver, and it spreads it out and supplies blast compound to all of the impact reactors. Now, as far as blast compound goes, I have a schematic that's pretty nice for this. So I'm not actually sure how much blast compound I need. I think it's quite a bit. Meow. So my power is a little bit sad right now. It's a very sad power. I don't want to be mining scrap at the same time. I could just burn it, I guess. I don't want to do that either. What this does is it says, if I mine scrap from this bro, because there's one single patch in there, then burn it instead. And what I can do later is I can have this go up into all this other scrap production to make sand. In fact, well, I'm going to need to do that too. I guess that's fine. Maybe instead of burning it, I could just use it. Oh, my goodness. I feel like I just have to do something like this. Like, I hate that I have to do this, because this is just temporary. I'm going to destroy all this. This is graphite and silicone, primarily. But I shouldn't have to do this. Another thing I could do is just do batteries, because, like, honestly, I'm positive power most of the time. And I have, like, 2,000 plus power, you know? Tons. And then all of a sudden I get in the negative, so if I just had some batteries, that would solve that problem. I think that's a bad habit of mine, is just to never use batteries. Let's throw some batteries, like, up here somewhere. Alright, well, regardless, I'm storing thousands and thousands of power, so that's a little bit safer. I probably should have been doing that a lot sooner. It's just my silicone is precious. Okay, so what's my power looking like now? Wow, 9,000 power? Alright, well, I can survive off that for a little bit. So again, I don't think that pulverizers are a problem, because they only fire when they are empty, or like once, yeah. If they can go somewhere, they'll fire. If they can't go somewhere, they don't. So it doesn't matter. Right, this is going to be, oh no, wait, what am I doing? Of course. I'm trying to make sand, so let's make a pulverizer right here. I think it's fine. These are actually hard units? I don't know that they're bosses. So these things are nice though. They hit really hard. Boom. Is this producing scrap? It will only do it every once in a while, because there's one little patch of it down there. I haven't seen it so far. If it does, it should send it north. Oh, right, because there's no power to any of it, so that would kind of determine that. Boom. Boom. This is actually, like, kind of a pretty intense amount of power. I mean, it's 30 apiece. I don't know how much it's going to use. Yeah, 4,000. Something. Okay, so that filled up pretty quick. What I can do... let's do like this. So 2 full conveyors should be good for this. Actually see what happens, but and then I'll load lead from the top probably. So I'd like to be able to grab this lead as well. So here's the problem, like, I need so much lead. Oh, what happened here? Oh no, this wasn't sending it over here the whole time? It's sort of a weird thing. If I'm going to do this stuff, I need to make sure I have enough blast compound to support however many impact reactors I have. So this is, like, super, super critical that I have this working. You know... oh, wait. No, thank you. I'm actually surprised I'm able to even get this much lead off of this one vein. Alright, so let's just throw a distributor right here. Let's see what happens here. It's actually, honestly, that's almost 2 full... Well, it's really close. That's almost 2 full conveyors of lead right there, which is crazy. That's actually... I think that's most of what I need. How's my power doing? I think I might be able to support doing this now. So here we go. Ready? Boom. This will start shooting blast compound into here. It'll start filling this, and this is firing up. Now, how this works... How this works is it requires, I think it's 1,500 power per second or something like that for a little while. And then after that it starts producing power. So in the bottom right corner you can see it's not actually producing power yet. In the meantime, it requires, you have to have cryofluid and blast compound. If you run out of cryofluid, the whole thing shuts down. So there we go, now it's starting to produce power. And it goes, slowly powers up. And it produces a lot, all by itself. So here's the thing, I have to have enough blast compound in order to support it. If I run out of blast compound, I die. Or, yeah, the whole power system shuts down, and then it's really bad. It's super rough trying to get it back started again, because each one of these takes... Because it requires 1,500 for several seconds, whatever it is, 10 seconds or something like that to fire up. It can be really rough. Now, I do have overdrive projectors in here as well, which will increase the power it produces. One thing that's kind of weird is you need like just not quite 1.5 cryofluid mixers, and these overdrive projectors in this design I currently have, it doesn't quite touch like this water extractor over here. So, or this cryofluid thing. I think this one is not overdriven, so it's a little bit weird because this requires a little bit more, but these don't quite produce it. I think it's okay though, I don't think it causes it any problems. What I found is the best way to make sure that these work though is to just alternate. You just build a couple at a time. I want to make sure that I have enough resources. I have to have enough over here to support this. And I think you even need twice as much as this. Like, even though I did all this stuff, I need even more if I'm going to have all 12. I have enough slots for 12. But I think this is about all I can do. My power, though, as you'll see, is like very quickly going up. But yeah, this is awesome. So what I think I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to get this... Well, do I need more lead? I guess I do. I need more lead over here. Whoa, what happened here? This is going the wrong way, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. That would help. Have it actually feeding in properly. So I should have enough power now that I don't have to have this. This is actually connected to the grid over here, but I should have enough power now that this doesn't matter. I was just placing these temporarily. Yeah. 5. Wait, what? Went from 13,000 to 5,000? What happened? Back to 14. Oh wait, are these not on the same grid anymore? Oh, I think just this. This was disconnected from anything. So this was powering all these guys, is what happened. But yeah, now it's all together, so it's great. 20,000 power. How is my blast? My blast compound looks great. So, I think it's full, actually. Let's add 2 more. So here's kind of the thing, like I just have to keep a real close eye on it and watch what's happening with all this blast compound. So like right now it's full, because I'm not using anywhere near enough for it to matter, but if this suddenly starts running out, it's awful. And here's the other fun thing is I can boost these overdrive projectors to be even more awesome, and that'll make everything amazing. It'll make it produce, I think it makes it 225% more effective or something like that, so I produce even more power. It's crazy though. Okay, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with this design. My friend designed something similar to this. I tweaked it a little bit to make it more efficient, but I'm pretty happy with it. Now, one of the things you're going to notice here real quick is one full conveyor of titanium is only able to support 6 impact reactors, I think is what it is. So I need to send more titanium this way. Otherwise, this could all of this could shut down, which would be bad if I add more. Anyways, the nice thing about this setup is that this is expandable. I just need to send more. I need to send more titanium this way. I send more blast compound this way, and it's all good. One thing that's sort of sad, like there's only 200 some items in this, but it's almost better to have a vault or something that I can put in these guys. So I throw these into a vault and then have the vault unload to the mass driver, so that way I have a backlog of blast compound just in case. So my power is now amazing. So I think it's time to go ahead and expand and stuff. Another thing I could do, I probably should get phase fabric. I feel like I should work on towers first, though. I also need cryofluid, and cryofluid, unfortunately, also requires titanium, so that's rough. Everything requires titanium. This goes back this way, and then it overflows. But yeah, that's fine, that's fine. So that'll actually take all of this titanium, and send it back this way. Actually, you know what? This doesn't have any water on it. That needs to change. And an overdrive projector. I'm just trying to boost titanium. Like, you can just do that everywhere. Boom. Just power. Oh, you know what? This isn't even powered. That would help. I'm trying to drill a lot of titanium. It helps to actually have the drills turned on. Okay. So that's all wonderful. Now, so now I have all this titanium. All that titanium. I wonder if you can overdrive pulverizers. Okay, so where am I even taking? I'm taking it all the way over here. A full conveyor of titanium. Now, one thing to know about this too, by the way, if you ever do something like this, what you want to do is you want to look, because I'm loading a full conveyor of titanium over here, right? So that means this belt is totally full, but it empties out by the time it gets over here. And there's like a little bit of stragglers right now because I don't have 6 of these. If I had 6, I think it uses just about everything. I think there's like a little bit left over. But anyways, point being, if you're going to load more titanium onto this belt, if you have a big setup like this, what you have to do is unload the other part of titanium way over here. Does that make sense? Because this is where it's loading on. So maybe even I'll unload it here. Alright, let's see what the distance is on this. And something like that. So one thing I could do to increase the production of this, which is weird, is I could use overdrive projectors along the entire distance, would be another way to do that. Or just more belts. I think this is finally working really good, though. I still don't have... Oh, actually, this is what I should do. Let's check this out. So we'll just move this over. There we go. Maybe that's not quite right. I want it on the exact opposite side, so that'd be more like right here. There we go. I want it to be like exactly even. Right? So right... Oh, actually, that'd be right here. Wait, maybe it was perfect. Wait. Maybe it was perfect in the first place. Regardless, now I have a lot... Oops, don't do that. Now I have a lot of titanium on here. Now, I don't think this is quite 2 full conveyors of titanium. It is pretty good, though. Now, again, I have to make sure that I have enough blast compounds to support this. I'm watching it. It looks like it's fine so far. It's totally full. In fact, these are the only 2 that are firing right now. So, I think it's great. But anyway, one thing about that, though, I don't know. It might be because I don't have the overdrive projectors boosted. Like, because it's boosting, I don't know if it makes these... If they just produce more power, or if they consume that much more resources, you know what I mean? Like if it... Yeah, I don't know. Does that make sense? Like I'm saying, like if I'm overdriving all this stuff, I don't know if this uses more cryofluid, and thus it uses more... Like, and this needs to produce faster too, to keep up with it, and so thus it's using more titanium. I don't know. I don't know if just using overdrive projectors just makes everything faster, or if it literally does just make the energy production better. I mean, for this it does, but that's because these are producing water faster too, and these are producing spores faster, and these are producing coal faster, and then this, or whatever, you know what I mean? It's just doing everything faster, that's why this produces more energy. So I'm not quite sure how that fits into this. Oh, that's right, you know what? When I add, never mind. When I add phase fabric, it's going to boost the range on this. Yeah, okay. Anyways, I have lots of power now. I have 50,000, which is pretty good. Okay, so one of the reasons I was doing all that is because I was out of titanium. So now that I have more, I can think about this now. Let's see, this is all going down here. I think I actually can't even handle the flow of this, so let's actually send all this titanium over here. How could you? How dare you change your titanium flow? I'm pleased with the schematic too that I made. So how it works is titanium goes into it, it goes into a router. This router tells it to go forward and to go over here. This one says go here, and then it goes into something that shoots it forward. So this shoots it over to the right, where it goes into cryofluid mixers. So this titanium goes forward, it spits it out to here. So what happens is when it goes forward, it tells it to go forward again. When it goes sideways, it goes into a router, which then goes into this bridge, which goes over and puts it into these. It actually goes, it skips twice. It goes bam, bam, or something like that. I'm actually, I can't see it right now, but because it's all covered up, but it moves twice. And then meanwhile, liquid, there's water going into this, which then goes whoop over to here. And must be, and then there's one power thing in the middle of all these two. Anyways, so what happens is the water from this back one is going over here as well. So meanwhile, these water extractors right next to them are touching this. This needs, again, 1.5. There's all these like buildings that need 1.5 of something, especially water. I don't know why water extractors, it's always 1.5. But anyways, so what's happening is this back one is feeding both of these with bridges. So remember, bridges are not very efficient, but it doesn't matter for a single one like this. But the result is I can have one feed of titanium, and it feeds all of these cryofluids to the sides. And the reason that's cool is because you can do like this and just have a whole bunch of pipes, whatever, leading off this one edge. You can have a single pipe that has a whole bunch, as much cryofluid as you need. You just expand it and you make it. You just copy paste this again and go lower, and it works. It just works. Yeah. We're trying to avoid having these walls too close, and this will be healing or something. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm working on cryofluid. I need to get liquid up to this, otherwise it won't fire. So I'm going to wait till after this wave, and then I'm going to bring liquid up to this. And I also need to bring these guys up here, or thorium, for other ammo, for my my other dudes. So I'm at this turning point where I have to do this now, because I just blew up my supply lines. Okay. Maybe I should make this armor, just in case. I don't use armor for the sake of the armor that it provides, but in case it blows up, it's just not going to die as fast. Has more health. Okay, now these all can be turned around. Oh, except for water. See, I blew up all my towers, so they're not doing any damage anymore. Luckily, these specters are over here just blowing everything up. Now I need to, like, hurry and do stuff. I'm not sure how to do this. I need to get the liquid over here too. It would almost be easier if I had liquid going one way and then physical stuff going the other way. I'll probably have to do something like this, I think, will be easier. So now I have cryofluid going to these. Cryofluid is the best liquid, so it supplies this really well. This says it does not have power, which I am angry about. Looks like air is constantly going right here now. I don't know if, yeah, so that worked. Okay, so, this is a little bit weird. This is the only way I could figure out how to get it in here. I'm, like, okay with this. It's alright. It's not really what I want, but it's better than nothing. So there we go, meltdowns. Great. It looks like my cryofluid actually runs out pretty fast, so this will slowly fill up, but it'll empty instantly. So that way, the time in between waves, I'm steadily building up cryofluid, and it'll just. So I think this amount is fine. I don't have to expand this anymore. Actually, these are probably all out of ammo. Well, no, they're not. They're not out of ammo, but that's okay. The deal is, like, specters do better single target damage. And I think they overall do better burst damage. Meltdowns do better splash damage, for sure. But also, meltdowns have lower range, and they take a little bit while they have a wind-up time. They're kind of like a minigun. They're like, and so it takes a little bit before they actually do anything. So meanwhile, if I alternate them back and forth, they make a good team, I guess. But yeah, see, specters definitely start attacking sooner. But the reason it's good to have meltdowns over here is because when they have huge waves of air units, like if I only have specters, eventually my single target just cannot keep up. So one thing that's sort of sad about this setup, I think this is really, really smart, is that but the problem is that I don't know, like, I can't put healing in the middle of all this, so I need to, like, break it up every once in a while with, like, things like this. And it's okay. And, like, I'm putting it in the back is actually, like, pretty sweet. So, like, this is healing in the middle, so I need more, but it needs to be, like, way over here. And that's fine. Like, that's more than enough for everything. It looks like they were consuming cryofluid to even begin firing. I think, like, it was, like, It was like it started cooling before it ever started firing, and then it almost ran out. That's what it looked like to me. I might be mistaken. I wonder if my liquid is bottlenecked, is what I'm thinking, just based on the way that looked. Let's do this. So I don't know if that'll be any better. Hopefully it unloads it a little bit faster. And I know that bridge conveyors are supposedly not good for liquids. So maybe this is actually smart that I split it up this way. The ammo I think is fine. I don't think it matters. I think this defense is pretty darn good for now. The thing that needs to happen next is upgrading these overdrive projectors to have phase fabric. Okay, so all this stuff is fine. How's my power doing, by the way? Still 50,000. Like, I'm fine. See, here's the thing. Like, look at all this air. Like, here they are, just like running back and forth over here. So they're hanging out over here now, and I don't really know why. Like, what caused them to start doing that? What I can do is I can start building air defenses over here. So one thing that's kind of annoying about these diagonal designs like this is just that it's like kind of awkward how things are positioned. Okay, let's do close. Let's put it over here. Oh. You know. Wow, that actually did use a lot of cryo fluid. That simple. So what's nice about this too, I try to make designs that have just little power nodes in them, because they don't take up a lot of space, and if it's tileable like this, where you can just be like boop 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 and add and expand it, then what's nice about that is that because there's little power nodes, it automatically connects to everything. So like I just placed this right now, and this little power node connected to this guy, so it just connected everything. I try to set it up that way so that it's good to go. And I realize this is actually filled with titanium too, but it doesn't matter. Like, it's not going anywhere, but I can just go like this, and it connects automatically. So I like to set it up in such a way where it's really easily able to expand. I don't know, this could have been designed a little prettier. I don't know. It's functional though. It works now. So this is going to supply ammo and liquid to everything. Unfortunately, I had to scooch all these men projectors over. That's fine. So likewise, I'm going to throw one of these every once in a while. And I also need power for all this, because reasons. Now, unfortunately, one of the problems with this design that I just did is I could have another whole layer of towers behind. It's just not set up for that. And I don't know, like, this whole set, like, actually these bridges are actually kind of ridiculous. Like, what I could do is do, like, liquid. Like, I don't have to have it every single time, you know what I mean? The reason it makes sense here because it's in a straight line, but once you start getting in diagonal, it starts getting weird. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of broke it weird. What would be cooler, probably? In fact, I could even do that real quick. Maybe I will, just for the sake of experimentation. I don't know that this actually accomplished much. But, I think this is still filling. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, here's 2 bosses. I'm glad I got that anti-air done in time. Alright, well, that worked well. So I'm glad I got this done. I was trying to see, I just was kind of intrigued by the shape a little bit ago, and I was like, oh, I could like have this slot with lots of healing and stuff, but I don't know that that really made much difference. One of the other things I was thinking is like this gives me little slots to place these. In particular, all occasionally just alternating was what I was intrigued by. I need power all throughout this though. Maybe that's what I should do. How about this middle one is power? Well, I don't need another one over here though. I don't know. Yeah. I guess one thing I could do is there's little slots kind of in between for some of these. So if I just use those instead. So I don't need these big ones. Go like, bam. There we go. Yeah, I guess it kind of works. I don't know. Diagonal is bad though. See, the part of the reason for this is, or the reason it's bad, is because if I wanted to have more towers below, whatever, it wouldn't actually work. So I think this overall takes up more room. I don't know. But yeah, straight lines is the way to go. It's awesome. The thing that's bad about this is no good way to interject healing in the middle of this. It's almost like I've tried things like you can go over a thing, but then it has to be a small tower. So these are so big you can't do that. You can't bridge across them. They only you can only bridge up to 3 or 4 tiles, whatever. And these are 4 tiles wide, so you can't bridge one more. If you could, otherwise you could go across. So it's a little bit awkward. You have to have some kind of hole in between where you can feed a line of whatever, you know, ammo or power or whatever you're trying to do. So it's a little bit awkward. Like, how does this look? I think, so see, like, lead is one of my biggest limitations right now, right? So what I can do is I can just make another one of these guys here. So what happens is if I'm not making blast compound, then send all the lead to this mass driver, which then puts it on these belts, which then sends it to this mass driver, which sends it over here to create surge alloy. Alright, what is the next thing I'm out of? Silicone? But anyways, if I can boost the production of surge alloy, I can use it as ammo, which would be really good. It's the best ammo in the game. Oh my goodness, see, I still only have 5k. Did my plastanium just stop? No, I'm still making it just really slowly. Then again, my towers cost a lot. I bet you these cost a ton. 175 a piece. Respectors. Well, I don't know, you make like 10 of those and you've already used 1,000, and I'm not producing it very fast. Yeah, see, I feel nervous about the idea of using surge alloy for ammo because it costs so much to even do it. Like, I just don't feel like I can support it. I'm using my... Well, no, I'm not. My silicone just still isn't... I don't know, man. Like, look at this, though. This is really good production. This is not, though. This sand is sad. Okay, well, I increased it by, like, 2 silicone makers, whatever, which is better, but I don't know, man. See, it's like crazy. Like, look how much silicone I'm making. I have 1, 2, 3, size 6. I mean, I don't know. I have 16 going all the time, and it's still not enough. Like, I still need more silicone. I can unload it, but that just means that I'm taking it out of my base, which will slowly run out. Well, see, now it's actually back up and running. I don't know, maybe that was enough to increase it, actually. I just needed a little bit more silicone to keep this running the entire time. I'm not sure if at some point I'm going to run out of copper, so I'm going to let them do all that stuff. I think I can just walk away. I don't think I even need to be there, and they'll just keep building everything. Either that or they only build stuff that I've started. Yeah, they do. Fine, maybe I have to be here. I think it'd be cool to be able to queue up stuff, and then they can just go to town on it. Okay, so let's look at walls too. I can do surge alloy walls. I can also do phase fabric. I still haven't even done phase fabric. That's probably what should be my next objective. I'm pretty happy with this mass driver here. I think it's like doing a great job, all this stuff. And the one thing I don't have is I don't actually have an unloading spot for surge alloy. I could just include an overflow gate here, but I don't want to launch it. What I'd actually rather do is just send it to ammo if it's full. Looks like I am launching Metaglass at long last. This looks all great. You know, it's I need to have more because reasons. I love power. So you know what? If I have 60,000 more power than I need, I clearly need more. All right, we just kind of got to watch the titanium and the blast compound and make sure that they're still happy. It looks like they are. I don't think there's a problem. You know, and here's kind of the thing. If it starts getting down to the point where it's like down to here all the time, then that's a problem. And I can totally just destroy one of these if it starts looking like it's getting low. Because the reason being, because I want to make sure they don't run out. If they do, it's a big problem. Come on. There we go. All right. So what's going to happen is this will always fill up with stuff, and whenever it's full, it'll add some capacity. So that feels nice. It's just a little safety margin. It did actually use it all up, though, so that's kind of frightening. I think I actually do have one too many. So I'm going to go ahead and destroy one, which I hate to do that. So yeah, whenever it fires, it's going to suck up this way, and whenever it doesn't, it's going to go that way. This is actually great. This is exactly how you want it. You want to prioritize your defense, so you don't end up getting into this awkward position where you don't have enough. And this is emptying. I want it to always stay above 0. Like, it should always be gaining steadily. Looks like it is, just slowly increasing over time, which is what I want. So I think that coal is my bottleneck here. And it looks like, actually, I think I finally... that's kind of funny, that little amount of coal. Just this little itty-bitty trickle was enough to tip it over the edge. So now I'm doing good on coal. Which is funny, because these are producing constantly. What I want to do next is I'm going to work on face fabric. That's going to require a whole bunch of sand. Tons and tons of sand. So much sand. You know what? Let's just because I'm feeling spicy, let's do that. Because I have thorium over here is why I'm doing this. And in powers, I have all the power I could want, so there's, rather than making belts everywhere, I can just do this. This builder drone's getting in my life. Okay, if I want to get it to the defense, I guess it makes sense to go through here, I guess. I'm getting to the point where I'm almost ready to start skipping waves. I'm not quite there yet, but I am getting there. So what we can do is just tell this to, if it overflows, to go back to the base. Oh, actually, that's not entirely true. Wait. Let's have it go down here, too. Also, what is the status of this, too? What does this look like? Looks like it's flowing constantly. Looks like it's pretty happy. So, let's do another one. That's cool. They updated the graphics and stuff. Oh, also, I saw that they... Yeah, they did. So I paused this game and then continued on another day. But anyways, they updated the tech tree, so that's cool looking. I think this is a lot easier to look at. They used to have it all top down. It was like super wide. I actually like this a lot better. Supposedly they did this so that when people have mods for the game, that it will properly place them and stuff like that. The other previous setup didn't allow for that very well. But yeah, that's cool. And they changed it so apparently if they are affected by phase fabric, or phase fabric overdrive projector, that it will change the color of like the meltdowns firing pattern, which is cool. Okay, so now supposedly I'm going to have phase fabric going back towards the base here soon. Like, see, this is stockpiling already. Unfortunately, this isn't really... I don't really have enough sand to support all of the input of this. I could almost... I guess I just need more sand going to this, but this should be a lot. There's pumps for all these. I guess what I could do, too, is I could do something like these, just because I can. How to do it in such a way where it doesn't mess anything up. It seemed like there's a lot of water going into that. Do that. There we go. Running out of power. Why is that? Did something get disconnected? Negative. Negative. And this is what I was talking about, where... So this is not connected to any... Well, okay. Why are these not... These are all connected, right? What if I do this? Just disconnect this and this. Okay, just to get it fired up. Well... This is working, right? Like, what is it? What is going on? No pyrotite. This has no lead, but there's lead... Oh, wait. What? What? When did this happen? What the heck? Oh, no. Oh, wait. What? This was supposed to go back to base. Was it originally... Why... Oh, man. I was connecting this to go back to base, but I don't know how I managed that. That was really silly. Okay, this is horrible because a couple of reasons. This is... Phase fabric is really expensive. I guess I'm gonna do this temporarily. You know, let's do this. And do phase fabric. Oh, no! Stop! Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. So phase fabric is really expensive. So I want to keep it. Let's... Can I do a vault? Or something? Man, this is, like, rough. See, what's horrible about this is this destroyed all of my production for all this stuff. So I'm gonna keep doing that too. Oh man, this is so horrible. So phase fabric is expensive. Right now, well, everything's broken. You know, honestly, I hate to do this, but it's probably faster to just blow it all up, because what's going to happen is it's just not going to produce anything for a while. Like, the sooner I can get all this power back up and running, then the sooner I can have phase fabric production. So I'm not going to have any phase fabric production until stuff happens. So it's just rough. See, this is what I was saying before. Like, if anything breaks, you lose all your power. This is kind of like, it's just funny. Like, you have a silly little mistake, and all of a sudden, like, everything. See, here's the problem though too. Look at this. So these things stopped. I've been talking about this throughout the entire playthrough. Is that if I lose power, then all of a sudden my water extractors stop working. And so if the water extractors stop working, then all my steam stops working. And then once those all stop working, there's nothing to get this fired up. So like, there's all this. So I have to like disconnect all kinds of things just to get it to even think about doing anything. It's this cascading failure where I didn't have enough power for everything. Well, probably what was happening is that there wasn't enough power, so the water extractors were slowing down. But as they were slowing down, then everything else slowed down too, and so it just got worse and worse and worse until eventually there was nothing. What I might do, like, I hate to do this, but maybe even do something like this, and then throw some solar panels in here. It's sort of sad. This game's sort of like this, though. This is what happens, is like everything's great, and then all of a sudden, like, you make a mistake. I just moved one belt wrong, and then everything's blowing up now. So impact reactors can be kind of scary. Like, I actually had a really, really great setup. It's just I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I don't know, man. So I need like enough power to even, I don't know, like, I guess I'm gonna do this. Start making this coal turn into something. Actually, you know, I guess that's a good point. This whole map is like, well, I have all these, I guess. What I could do maybe, what if I did something like this? Well, I can't even reach. I could do a surge tower. That would work. Okay, we'll do this. Disconnect this temporarily. Stop. There. There we go. Alright, that's enough power to get this started. So get all these started. Okay, let all this get going. Okay, so now I have 15,000 power, so that's great. Reconnect all the titanium mine to get this kind of going. Nope. 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 Here's the thing, if I leave it negative for a little while, it's gonna... The problem is these take too much power to start. Like, way tons of power. So I think what's going to make the most sense is just blow up most of these. I hate doing that. It's like so awful, but I have to. It's the only way to get it started. Let's do this. Disconnect the surge alloy production, because that's really expensive. Let's try it again. So watch the power. 13,000. And it's negative. It's still too much. I cannot get it started like this. Oh man, like what am I even gonna do? Everything costs too much power. I might have just killed myself. I'm not actually sure what these things are powered on. Negative power. They're not still just sucking off the batteries. No, the batteries are empty. I'm actually not sure what power is even supporting all these. Well, I guess there's like this little bit right here, for example. Again, I wish I could see a flow chart or something, like show me how much is being consumed off this node. Like what, I know it says there's a total of negative, but I wish I could see how much was positive too on this network. It's just like the way it is right now, there's no good way to know. Problem is the problem is, like, here's the thing, like all these air blast drills were doing stuff before, but then the belts were full. So I wasn't consuming all that power, but now that the belts have had a chance to clear, as soon as I connect the power, all of the air blast drills in the entire map are like, whoosh, and they all start doing stuff, which is insane. Not that this was doing anything anyway, but... These shouldn't be doing much, if anything. They can't even put sand on this belt. I think I just died. I think there's nothing I can do, because... Go ahead and connect metaglass, who cares about that? Maybe what I can do... Well, I don't know, see, it's thousands though. Problem is I need like another 13,000, which is a ton. I think what I'm gonna do is just fire up one of these. I know that's terrible, but if I can get this going to have a lot of power, then I can jumpstart everything else. Oh, that's why I was bringing phase fabric down here. I was trying to bring it to these. That's what I was doing. I was trying to bring it to these things because it would quadruple my power. Or whatever. Or it would double it or something. It makes it 225% more efficient, is why. Maybe I'll leave 2 of them. These need 1,500, I believe it is, to get started. And then plus all this power, I guess. Boom. Okay, so this will take a little bit for it to get started. And the one thing about this is I have to make sure that this is working. Oh. What happened? Oh, I'm not getting sand. Right? Sand? Yeah, I'm not getting sand because... Where does sand even come from? Right here? Or... Wait, is this coal? What is it? Yeah, it is sand. Where... Okay, that's a better question. Where was I getting sand from? Sand was right here. So I need all of this connected, at least. Okay, what's the status of this now? 18,000 power. Okay. I need to connect all these. Okay, all this sand. How's my power looking? It's fine. Okay. See, I have to keep all this stuff going, otherwise I'm going to run out of last compound. Oh, okay, so that sort of worked. Man, that was scary. Like, my defense is still, like, straggling by. Like, how's my defense doing now that it's, like... So here's the other sad thing, though, too. Like, look at this. So here's where things start getting real scary, too. So, I'm out of thorium. So, if it doesn't continue mining here soon, none of my things are going to shoot. I don't have enough power to support the meltdowns, and if I can't get the bullets over to it, then it's over. So, I have to reconnect everything very shortly here, otherwise I'm dead. How much power do I have? I have 28,000. Let's get 2 more going, or 3 more. Let's get 3 more going. Come on, Building Jones. Come on, come on. Let's get these going, and I need to reconnect everything right now. I don't have time. I will die here. I think this next wave I'll die. So I have a minute left. Like, oh man. So 25,000. I think this will be fine. This will take it a little bit for this to get started. But once, like, 2 of these start producing power, I think it'll be okay. I want to stall. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna hope I have enough ammo to get through this next wave. If I don't, it's over. But once these 3 are fired up, then I can go. I have enough sand and everything for everything else. Oh, see, I try to keep all my power stuff isolated or self-contained down here. Like, all this titanium is necessary for this. All this power is necessary to, like, get all this stuff started. And it would almost be good to, like, have these only... like, make sure I have just enough power for, like, all this stuff. All the sand, all this. So that if I do have to disconnect everything again, I can jumpstart everything. Like, maybe even have some power dedicated just for jumpstarting. And it only needs to be enough to get it started. Okay, boom. Reconnect. I have 40,000. It's fine. Even if it was 20,000 in the negative before, but it doesn't matter now. Okay. So now I should be mining thorium here. Quick. I guess there's all these, though, too. These are full on ammo. But not that... They come over here very easily, though. One of the issues, though... Well, I guess not really. I was going to say is that I don't have any power in my batteries, but then again, it's positive right now. Every time it's positive power, it's going into the batteries, so I should have lots and lots of power. Something my friend was doing is he would use just batteries to jumpstart, because he just had a big grid of it over here, and then he'd just use it to jumpstart all this stuff. But I don't know, I think I kind of like the idea of just power generation that just... Yeah, anyway. So I made it so that I can disconnect all these guys if I want to. Oh, I guess it's just... That's fine. I think I want to do it like this, though. so that I can overflow gate it. Oh hey, they made these a little more transparent. That's cool. The bridges. That's actually so much easier to see. I like that. Wonder if they changed, you know, they did that for yeah, bridge opacity. Nice. Alright, that increased my my production quite a bit. I still am thorium limited. Is there any other... well, there's all this though too. I guess, though, too, what we can do... so I need 2 belts worth, huh? Here? Alright, so hopefully that'll increase my thorium production, both for the phase fabric as well as the ammo. You know, honestly, like, there's probably not really super much reason to keep adding impact reactors, because if I have, you know, I have 30,000 power... I'm not even close to using any of that right now. I mean, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. I am using something like 30 or 40,000 power total with everything on the entire map, but there's no reason to add more, I guess. You know what I mean? I've used batteries to supply my defense just to have a buffer anyway. If I'm nowhere even near close running out of power, there's no reason to make more. I guess I'm just super power hungry, or like, I'm always like, yes, more power. It's kind of silly. Yeah, dude. But you can see how, like, meltdowns are pretty good. Or, like, the further you get in the game, then the more enemies you have, so the splash damage is really important. So there's 2 kinds of endgame walls. There is surge walls, which is what I'm making right now. When they get hit, they store up a charge, and then they explode, so it does an AoE damage around them. And then, meanwhile, there's also phase fabric walls, which they reflect bullets. Now, what you can do is, as long as you have enough healing to keep them alive, then phase walls will... The thing about phase walls is they'll actually shoot back pretty far, and often enemies will just kill themselves upon your walls, which is pretty cool. They'll do the same thing with surge walls, but only if they get close enough, which they don't usually get close enough for that to happen. However, surge walls also have more health. I've actually usually used phase walls, which is pretty sweet. I'm not sure actually which one's better. I do know surge walls have more health. You know, I did turn off my surge production. I should turn it back on, because I have way more than enough power now. Right. I do think that this is like one of the best setups for surge alloy. I haven't watched a lot of gameplay of anybody else or anything, but I think this is like a super nice setup, because I think actually most people, they only come up with a schematic that'll do like 2 or 3 of these things, but I have 8, which is kind of insane. The fact that I even have 8 is crazy. I felt a little bit clever of doing this. These guys don't use copper. Yeah, they don't use copper, but they use everything else, but I just threw them into the same assembly line, because this will load up the same speed. It runs through these basically instantaneously. It doesn't matter. So just having more overflow gates here just keeps it doing the same thing. And overflow gates move faster than routers do, for some reason. Like, you can use routers as an input, but using them as an output, especially having things go through them, it slows things down a lot. Overflow gates are like practically instantaneous. So having stuff go all one way. But here's one thing to know about that with overflow gates is, like this for example, I have the silicone loading here. I can't have silicone loading from the other side. If you do, it'll break these overflow gates. They can only go one direction. So in this case, silicone's going down, but then I have copper going up, for example. What I could have done actually is just do... I mean, I don't know, I could have just left this as a junction, for example, and then just... like, I can even do it now, it doesn't matter. I can do like this if I really don't want to have overflow gates there or whatever, because these don't use them at all. But if these do break, my builder drones still automatically get recreated, because these will just fill up with resources. So, but it's good. I think this design is nice, what I just did here. It's pretty smart. So again, the thing with this though too is that because it has to be in a straight line, I can't have this like, I can't exactly have it curve around, because I can have something like, you know, belts like this that loop it around the other direction, but then what'll happen is it won't go. And I can have more of these on the other side, which is something, now that I'm, like, the more I think about it now, it might be smarter. I could have 4 here and 4 here, now that I have this set up this way. So if I did it like, I could literally do this. That would work, just to make it a little more dense, which maybe that'd be smarter. This is just such a long thing. But the thing to know right now with this setup is 3 titanium conveyors going into a single router like this. This is 8 of these dudes is the most it can support. period. So in fact, one of them is like always running a little bit low. It works, but it's like almost running out like all the time. So that's it's not great. And I have this completely full. This is completely full on lead. So I can't have more than 8 total. So if I were to have some on this left side, that would be it. I'd have to get another whole 3 conveyors of each one of these resources just to get it. Well, not entirely. 2 of titanium, like 3 of everything else, basically. But lead is going to be the thing it runs short of. And that's because these require, if you look in the bottom right corner, it requires 4 lead. Okay, so everything's pretty good. It's kind of like, honestly, the thing that's really good, or like what would be good for me, is I can extend everything further. The one other thing I can do, which I don't really think this is super great, but I might just do it just because I can, is you can make force projectors. Force projectors. And these things will get stronger the more, if you add phase fabric to them. So I can throw this like here, for example. And what this will do is it'll steadily absorb hits, and then it disappears. And then it overcharges, and it takes it a second for it to think about it again. Oh, does it have to have liquid to cool off? Is that what it is? Maybe that's a little annoying. I didn't realize that. Anyway, you have a bunch of those, and it will give you a force field. What's kind of cool about them is I think they, as long as its force field is touching another one, it'll actually, like, add to that same one. Like, so this all becomes part of the same field. And when you add phase fabric, then it will increase the distance that it goes. One thing I don't really like about it is it consumes it per second, like rather than per charge, or like rather than it being ammo, it's just consuming it per second, so it just steadily is eating it over time, which I don't like. Because it's a defense and it's not even doing anything. I wish it would only consume stuff as it takes damage, or you know what I mean? Like it takes it to get started and then it's just ready to go, rather than consuming it phase fabric all the time. Because part of the thing that's annoying about that is phase fabric is one of the hardest things to make, so it's like, I don't know, you're just constantly consuming stuff and it's not even doing anything. But yeah, shields, it just gives you a little bit extra defense. I don't really know, I don't quite understand how worthwhile it is. This shield will break like a third or halfway through each fight, but this will prevent a lot of extra damage as well. So I'm not sure exactly like how beneficial this is, and I don't know how beneficial this is compared to just having more defense. I'm assuming overall that having more towers is probably better. But yeah, it's a cool thing. So it's kind of sad, like at this point I can just go ahead and skip waves and stuff, but unfortunately like the best way to get strong and stuff is actually to get Surge Alloy and Phase Fabric, because Phase Fabric increases the productivity of all your buildings by a lot. Like, so an Overdrive Projector will increase the effectiveness of everything by 150%, I think it is, or 125, and then if you add Phase Fabric it increases it to an additional 225%, or yeah, 225% total. So it makes it that much better. So having a little bit of phase fabric going to your overdrive projectors is just amazing. And then meanwhile, if you, so having phase fabric is great. So if you are consuming it a lot, then it's bad. Like, does that make sense? Like, so if I have more time in between waves, I'm producing more phase fabric. There's all this phase fabric I'm making. So whatever, say I make 50 between every wave, that's really good. And likewise for Surge Alloy, if that's my ammo, I have to wait for it all to reload, and it takes it a while for it to produce. Like, if you look at the flow of this. So eventually, ideally, this is all heading to the defense, and this is the ammo I'm then fighting everything with instead. So if I don't give it time to replenish in between waves, then I'm gonna die. It's just sad, like, by the time you reach endgame, I mean, it's kind of like, you get to the end of the game and then you can skip waves, but if you do, you're gonna die, because then you don't have any ammo. Let's look at how much Surge Alloy I have now. So wow, I'm almost full, actually. In fact, I guess I should start leading that towards the base, because if I get full, then that's silly. And I guess there's not really a reason not to do this, I suppose. Alright, so what I told it to do is it's going to just keep shooting back and forth. It shoots to this one unloads immediately into a second mass driver, this one shoots it over here. Just kind of silly. There's more than enough space actually here to do otherwise. But so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to disconnect all of this thorium. Because specters can also use... Oh, no, they can't. Wait, no. Wait. Specters don't use it? Oh, no, I thought they did. I'm in panic mode now. Shots a second, 10. Shots a second, 10. 7 plus 33, 65 times 2. I don't know. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I'm not sure. Okay, apparently thorium is the last ammo I can use for specters, so I'm not sure what to do now. I can start doing cyclones, I guess, but it sounds like they just don't do as much damage as specters. The specters are bigger, though. I guess that's a good point. Like, I can have more condensed defenses with cyclones. Cyclones don't do as much range, though, I'm pretty sure. So if we look at this, specter, it's like right to the edge of the trees. This one would be... Well, it is as well. I don't know. It does shock damage. Is that good? Like... I guess that's true. I could do physical to here. Because that would get this edge, and then it would immediately go into this one. My brother finds the meltdowns super funny. He just thinks they sound so intense. Everything's burning. Burning, I tell you. I have no idea how much healing is, like, ideal or the most efficient overall, but I feel like this is a decent amount and it's enough to keep everything happy. I mean, most of the damage ends up being here anyways, in the middle. So this kind of ends up being, like, the extent of this game is just trying to survive as long as possible. And I feel like it kind of ends up getting boring at this point. It's the progression of everything that I think is interesting, that I think is fun. But once you get to this point, it's kind of like, I don't know, you're just optimizing as much stuff as you possibly can. So I feel like this is actually almost the point where it's interesting. Like, once you get up to the high technology, everything starts getting super exciting. But then it just kind of mellows out at that point. I didn't actually use a lot of phase conveyors this playthrough. I don't think going through the middle right here is necessarily the smartest thing. I just did it because I could. Let's see. We could redesign this, I guess. Alright, so that is a lot cleaner. So I just have thorium going along the bottom and it heads over here. And then from here it splits off and it's actually going this way as well. So what's fun about this is you can do something like this where you have it like one little area where it's using a distributor or something like that, and it goes into phase conveyors and take it all over the place. Okay, so this is cool. So I haven't really used surge towers yet. I did it once down here when I was trying to fix my power. I was connecting it to this. But anyways, surge towers, what they do is they only have 2 connections. But they go really far. So they have super far range, so they're great for like sending power over a wall like this. But because they only have 2 connections, that you can't use them to power a lot of things. What it's for is for doing stuff like this. So you have a single large power node in the middle of this that'll connect to a lot of things. And then that will allow it to reach stuff. So let's say I do something like this. There we go. So now, because I have power provided down here, I don't have to have like so much stuff left and right, I guess. This game's kind of weird because like what they should do is they should do more like Sanctum 2, for example, where the enemies scale or they get harder, or like Orcs Must Die, for example, where the enemies get harder over time. So it's increasing their stats or something, because the way it is right now, it just adds more guys, which isn't really that much of a problem. My meltdowns already do more than enough splash damage to kill everything of that tier, so the only thing that's hard about it is just the fact that there's more of them. Like, more so the issue when you have more units like that is the fact that the meltdown will go on cooldown. So after it's done firing for a while, it takes it a while for it to stop being overheated. So, but I kind of solved that problem by just having more meltdowns behind it. So it's kind of like boom, 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 and by that time the first one's recharged and it's fine. So as long as I have enough healing to keep my wall up, it doesn't matter. But most of them die before they even get a chance to attack my wall anyway, so it's not really that big a deal. As I was saying a little bit ago, the force projectors unfortunately are an odd size, so they don't really fit in my defense very well. I'm actually not sure what would happen if I were to have, like, a huge wall of force projectors. I'm not sure if that's better than having... I think it almost might be better than having more towers, because then I just never take any damage. I'm not sure which is worse. It's kind of like bosses are really the problem, but the more damage I can do to them, the better, which means more specters. So really, I feel like specters are kind of... Oh, hey, this broke. What happened here? So it goes to this. Oh, this is liquid right here. Goody, so as long as this doesn't blow up, or this, then everything's fine over here. And another thing I can do too, like this isn't, like I could do something like this, for example. Check this out. I move this over by 1, and then what I can do is I can just go like this, and have it go into another phase conveyor. and then start going back the other way. I guess another thing I could do too is I could just leave a single gap in between two. I guess that would give me an opportunity to use little power nodes as well. Okay, I simplified this quite a bit. So the deal is this was getting liquid just from the way this worked out, because it's like these is getting both ammo and liquid because of this whole 4-block system I have going on, which is sweet. So it only takes up one line of space. The problem is these ones didn't do that. So these were getting, I happened to get these lined up nicely so that they're both getting, one of them's getting physical stuff here, the other one's getting physical stuff right there. So because they're only 3 wide, they're not 4 wide. It just happened to work out they were getting the phase fabric, but they weren't getting the cryo fluid through here. So, and I needed it. So this one was getting cryo fluid, this one wasn't. It's kind of where the blocks lined up. So what I did is I just sent water across, or liquid. This is not working out super great. Well, maybe it's okay. I don't know, maybe the pressure's just still building up because these are filling up. Anyway, what I was saying is that I just had it phase across right here, and this is going down. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. So I cleaned this up a lot. I made this all functional. I have all the functionality I wanted, and everything's boosted. So, unfortunately, I don't really like the fact that I have this line through here. I'd almost wish I didn't have to do that. But another thing I could do technically is I could just send phase fabric up here just for this, or just for these, or even have like the overdrive projector in the middle of these or something. Like, what if I had like force projector, overdrive projector, force projector. So there's just this little slot in between, and I could send phase fabric up there and it touches that, but then meanwhile from the top it's getting the liquid, or I don't know. Because I just need liquid for these two, and that would spread them out enough that they're actually doing it or something. I don't know. There's ways I could probably do it, make it work out. But the nice thing about this right now is I have space for more towers. So, you know, what am I going to do except have more specters? Okay, lots and lots of force field. Tons and tons of force field in this. Spectre. Da-da-da. I will probably like destroy a lot of this liquid stuff and move it around down here so that I have room for everything and it actually works properly. Okay, so I think I have some pretty decent anti-air now. You know, I thought that I needed all this surge alloy for attacking, but I guess it's just cyclones, which I'm surprised by. I guess that specters don't use that. I wonder if cyclones are they really good? Like, I don't know. One of the things that's sort of weird about that, I think they do similar damage, maybe. These guys with surge alloy versus specters with thorium, it sounds like they do similar damage, but the thing about this is it's more compact, because it's only 3x3 instead of 4x4. However, at the same time, though, because it's 3x3, I can't use my little 4x4 trick or whatever of the bridges going across. So I'm going to have like cryo fluid on one side and ammo on the other, which ends up meaning that this takes up, you know, the other one takes up 5x5, I guess. This one takes up, yeah, it takes up 5x5 as well. You know what I mean? Because there's, I don't know. Anyway, so with cyclones, I'd have to do something like this. It would be the only way to do it, because either that or have a gap in between these left to right, which is silly. So I guess in this sense, I would be saving, it would be more dense as far as left to right, but it would not be more dense up and down. So I guess technically it's 5x3, I guess. But that would allow me to use surge alloy instead of thorium. So I don't know. I don't know which one's better. Specters do... It's sort of weird. Specters require surge alloy to even create, though. It increases it by 1.9 with cryo fluid, but so does cyclones. They use surge alloy for 7 plus 33 times 2. 7 plus 33 times 2 versus 65 times 2. I think that, if I remember correctly, that cyclones are not the most accurate thing in the world. Like, it just kind of clusters around. They're kind of like ripples, but nowhere near as bad as that. So it just kind of like bombards an area with single target, well, not single target damage, I guess. There's just a whole bunch of little concussive, like grenades, basically. I think, if I remember correctly. Meanwhile, these guys are more like a rapid-fire machine gun kind of thing. So I don't know. They're both good, though. Alright, so I actually put down the game for like 3 weeks or something like that. I was just working on other projects and stuff like that. At this point, the map is kind of over, so there's like... I'm basically just hanging out until I'm dead. I also wonder about like the idea of having, like, say, 6 deep of menders. I mean, you just have to look at that, though. Like, how much damage does this do? So it's 90 power, but I don't care about power, I guess. It doesn't say how much it repairs. It's too bad I can't, like, I don't have a way of damaging a building other than, like, blowing up a thorium reactor, for example. I don't really have a good way of dealing damage to my own guys if I wanted to see it already damaged and figure out how much health it has to repair. I don't know. Maybe they say it on the wiki or something like that, how much health they actually give per second, but I'm curious, like, which is more effective, having more walls or having more menders. Part of the reason I wonder about that is, like, is having, like, a single layer of menders better? You want these things to start shooting as soon as possible. I actually think, especially because of meltdowns, you want your meltdown damage to be spread out. Both because of the activation time. Like, if they fire a while, and then they run out, and then all of a sudden guys start flooding in, and it gets worse and worse. So you want them, like, closer and then farther away. So you actually want, like, I don't know. See, like, I feel like back here is too far away. The reason I have specters back here is because then if air gets close, then these guys all start firing too. Another thing I find sort of sad is I'm not sure if specters are are they the best anti-air? I assume so, just because they're the highest tier tower, but they only use thorium, which is kind of weird. Thorium's honestly kind of cheap. Surge alloy is way more expensive. Alright, so here's the point where things ramp up. I'm going to be trying to push this level as far as I can and see how many waves I can get up to. But yeah, I ended up with tons of hours of footage, so I broke it all the way down to 3 hours. So I have 3 videos that are an hour apiece. So this is the second of 3 videos. So join me for the next video where we'll continue on with Nuclear Production Complex. In the next video, what I'm going to be doing is just like trying to see how long I can survive, optimizing the defense further, adding some mechs to the defense too to help defend with, as well as optimizing my resources and stuff just to get them a little bit more epic so that we can survive as long as possible, as well as launching a bunch of surge alloy too. I'm going to end up launching thousands and thousands of it, but yeah, pretty sweet. And I'm also going to be sharing a lot of my thoughts about the game now that I have all these cool schematics and I've spent a lot of hours playing this game. I'm just going to share my final thoughts on it as my recommendations of if you're going to play this yourself. But yeah, good game. So join me for the next video. We'll talk about all that stuff. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.